Do you believe that men initially do really nice things for women because they want sex?
Yes.
If so, why would a woman ever accept an extravagant offer from a man if she wasn't interested in having sex?
I mean, women like dinner and a good time, right?
Isn't that leading a man on?
Not necessarily. I think it's fun to get to know somebody.
Hell no. People do shit out of the kindness of their heart all the time, you know?
But generally, don't men initially do things because they want sex?
Yeah, they're looking forward to something. It might not be sex, but they're looking forward to
Well, if a
something.
man's taking a woman to a $300 meal for the first time, I don't think he wants to be friends, does he?
Nah, not necessarily.
Okay, so would it be safe to assume he generally wants sex?
You may want a hand job. That ain't sex.
Well, I'm a genuinely nice guy. You know, sometimes, sex is a bonus, but, I'm going to say I'm a good 70-30.
Okay,
We're not going out. We're not going to Roof Chris if I didn't plan on having sex with you once, at least eventually. Sometime.
Oh, yeah. That's not happening.
There may be some men out there. I wouldn't say that accounts to all men, but I believe that men may wow or woo women in the beginning initially because they want sex. However, there are men that are truly out there looking for soulmates that may present themselves as being more than what they are in the beginning to attract that individual, and then there's some that are authentic and true to who they actually are.
Okay. If so, why would a woman ever accept an extravagant offer from a man if she wasn't interested in having sex?
I think as women, if a man is offering you gifts and you accept those gifts, you're leading him on. If you're not planning on forming a relationship or become intimate with him, because ultimately he is expecting something back from you.
I mean, I think if you're the type of guy to just expect something, that kind of comes off as desperate, and that's probably not going to get you anywhere. You want to be confident, but you want to be sure of yourself too, as well as being yourself. So I mean, whenever you're going into something and you're just expecting something back out of it, it's not authentic, and I think most girls can see straight through that.
If so, why would a woman ever accept an extravagant offer from a man if she wasn't interested in having sex?
Because most girls are gold diggers anyway. They want what they can get out of anybody. It doesn't just have to be a man, it's anybody.
Isn't that leading a man on?
Definitely, most definitely.
Is it fair for somebody who leads people on to complain about being cheated on?
No, because you can't be cheated on unless you've committed to being in a relationship. So if you're leading someone on, that means you haven't committed to being in a relationship with that person. So therefore, if he decides to date or partner with someone else, then no, he hasn't cheated. There's no commitment.
Does being in love require you to be vulnerable?
Yes, it most definitely does. It requires you to open up parts of yourself that you may typically guard. But in order to have a real intimate relationship, you have to share those things that are closest to us.
Does it require you to be vulnerable? I guess in some aspects, because being in love sometimes, clouds your judgment for some things you wouldn't normally do in the case if you really, really care about somebody like that.
When a woman leads a man on, do you blame the man for making himself vulnerable, or do you blame the woman for taking advantage of his weakness?
Well, a real man ain't supposed to be weak, but I mean, a pretty woman that says the right things to a man, she could pretty much get anything from a man, so I'd have to blame the woman more than the man.
What signs should a man look for if he's concerned about being led on?
Just if she's concerned more about what he has in his pockets than what he has in his heart.
When a woman leads a man on, do you blame the man for making himself vulnerable, or do you blame the woman for taking advantage of his weakness?
I don't admire women who lead men on. I believe there are a lot of beautiful women in the world who know that they're beautiful, and they have no intent on being in any type of long-term relationship. They just want what the man can provide them with. And good men who have good hearts, who are really looking for lifelong partners. So I don't support or believe in women who do that.
What signs should a man look for if he's concerned about being led on?
A woman who's not giving back and who is continuously who he's spoiling, basically. A man can set himself up for that. He shouldn't be putting out gifts and paying bills and stuff like that in the very beginning when there's no commitment.
Do you think it's fair for somebody who leads people on to complain about being cheated on?
No.
Why not?
It just doesn't make sense.
You can't do dirty and then
be
not
upset
expect
when you're done dirty.
Yeah.
Okay. When a woman leads a man on, do you blame the man for making himself vulnerable, or do you blame the woman for taking advantage of his weakness?
Blame the woman for taking advantage, because regardless of gender, you don't take advantage of people regardless.
Okay. Would blaming the man be victim blaming?
Yes.
What sign should a man look for if he's concerned about being led on?
Does she put actual, like, not just
Effort?
attention, like effort? Does she put effort into you? Does she actually want to listen to what you're saying?
When somebody cheats on their lover, do you typically blame the one who cheats or the one who drove the other one to cheat?
No, it's no driving you to cheat. If you cheated, you already had that in your mind. Didn't nobody make you do it? You know what I mean? It's just that might have been your excuse of why you did it, but nobody can make you cheat if you really care about somebody.
Right, they can make you leave.
Exactly, make you leave. Exactly.
I typically blame the one who drove the other one away.
Well, why wouldn't that person just leave then?
Because most people are comfortable being in the position that they're already in.
Do you feel like it's easier for a woman to seduce a man or for a man to seduce a woman?
A woman to seduce a man, because a man's always willing to give it up. They don't give a fuck who they fuck, you know?
So if the answer is women, does that make it easier for them to cheat?
I mean, people cheat regardless. And if they say they don't, they're lying.
Who is more likely to forgive cheating, men or women?
I don't know, 'cause I'd be ready to kill a bitch, man.
Would you agree that it's women because men cheat wanting sex while women typically cheat with feelings?
I say when a bitch fucks somebody else, that means they definitely got feelings for that person. A man can fuck a girl and not even talk to her ever again in their life.
I mean, but that's a big misconception too, because a lot of females these days can, fornicate and stuff like that without no kind of emotion, just like men can, so that's kind of a toughie.
Why are men more likely to be able to have sex without intimacy than women?
I don't know, man, because the majority of guys are perverts. You know what I mean? We get into the mood, and then it doesn't matter who's there, and then we're not going to want to talk to them the next day.
So then why should men be held to the same standard as women for cheating?
Because most of the time when a woman cheats, they get to know the man first. It's not just a one-night stand type thing. It's more of emotional involvement.
What do you find more intimate, having a deep conversation or having sex?
Deep conversation, definitely.
If the answer is deep conversation, why is cheating more about sex rather than sharing a deep conversation with a stranger?
Well, see, that's the thing. When it comes to a man being cheated on, it wouldn't really be about the sex. It would be more about the connection that she gave to another man to be able to get to that point to have sex.
Should a woman be mad about cheating if she's already a side piece?
I really feel like you don't have the right at that point.
No.
Don't women often say once a cheater, always a cheater?
Yes.
So if he's cheating on his woman to be with you, should you be surprised if he's cheating on you with me?
No. My mom always said, you lose them how you get them.
You're consensually giving yourself up to be a side option.
Right. Don't women often say once a cheater, always a cheater?
Once a cheater, always a cheater. I disagree because people could change.
Okay. I was just saying that, like, obviously if the man is cheating on his woman to be with you, why would you be surprised if he cheats on you to be with another woman?
Oh. Because, wow, that's so good.
All right, let's try this one. What do you find more intimate, having a deep conversation or having sex?
Having a deep conversation.
If the answer is a deep conversation, why is cheating more about sex rather than sharing a deep conversation with a stranger?
I find cheating both ways, actually. Cheating could be in all sorts and forms of ways.
Why do you think men are more likely to be able to have sex without intimacy than women?
Why is everything like men and women?
Well, I mean, what else could it be?
Why are we generalizing?
Why are we generalizing?
Genderalizing.
Oh, generalizing? Okay, can you educate me? Like, what would...
Like,
what
why would you just say there's only a male and a female?
Well, no, I'm saying that, I mean, obviously, I talk to same-sex couples and other types of relationships and things like that, but that's fine.
Okay.
Why do some women pride themselves on manipulation as a skill when they already control what men want?
You know, I mean, you got books like 48 Laws of Power, got people thinking that they can use people to get what they want, man. I really think it all comes down to, especially when it comes to women, it's all about using to get what they want before they get used, because they already feel like coming into a situation, the man pretty much only wants one thing.
Is there any better manipulation strategy than remaining an unidentifiable threat?
Damn, that's a good question. Nah, probably not, because, I mean, if it's unidentifiable, then you're not really going to be able to put your guards up like that, you know? So it's not going to be something that your defense is up on. So pretty much you're going to be taken advantage of.
Women often describe themselves as complicated, emotional, even crazy. Do you think women actually want to be understood?
Yeah, most definitely. They definitely do.
But wouldn't that actually hold them to a certain level of accountability?
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, you know, women, because of their estrogen, you know, they move off, majority of them move off emotions, where most men move off intellect and what they're thinking about. You know what I mean? So, you know, when it comes down to the mind state of a woman, you know, she's not going to care what's actually making sense. It's all going to be about what she feels. And if she feels that certain type of way, she's going to be right about that majority of the time.
So wouldn't you say that a lot of things women feel is just based on perceived victimhood?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
As opposed to real victimhood?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
What are your thoughts on the following statement? A man's loyalty is tested when he has everything, while a woman's loyalty is tested when her man has nothing.
Facts, because if you got everything, a woman be right there, but if you don't have nothing, a bitch will fly.
I think a woman's loyalty can be tested if a man, you know, doesn't have anything. A lot of times in the culture it's said, you know, women will stick with a man when he's in the mud, right? But the goal is not to stay in the mud, right? So in other words, it's okay, in my opinion, if you start at the bottom, but we should be working together to come out of the bottom. Staying at the bottom is not okay, and some people are okay with having the minimum in life. They don't have much desire out of life. And I think as women, we have to decide, because women, we are very loyal. The black woman is very loyal to her man, and but we could be so loyal that we don't see, you know, some red flags there, because oftentimes people can sell you a dream, right? It's very easy to profess things with their lips, but are you actually going to put in the action and the work behind it, the education and all that it takes to achieve the things that you say that you want? And I think as women, we need to be able to identify that, because we can't make a man be a man. We can't make him want more for his life and more for his family. He has to want that for himself.
In my response to that question, I have to quote a famous comedian by the name of Chris Rock. Only, you know, dogs and children only love unconditionally. Men are only loved for what we can provide for the situation. Mic drop.
So do you think that people are only as loyal as their options today?
Majority of them, you know, because the love is really just more of a word now. Now it's more, what can I get out of you? You know, it's not many people that's trying to look for genuine love these days.
Do you think unconditional love is possible in a romantic relationship?
Yeah, most definitely.
So why do we have a term called deal breakers?
Deal breakers? Man, I think it's because nowadays, you know, people are starting to give up on the fight more. You know, they're starting to, you're not seeing a lot of, like, when I was coming up, my grandmothers and granddaddies, like, you had a lot of older people that were married for years, and now you just don't see that. You know, you don't see a lot of people being married for more than 10 years. So I guess it's just, it's stuff like that that just puts a downfall on it and makes it to where people don't really want to work for their relationship.
Do you know more people who have stayed together or who have separated?
Separated, most definitely.
So is it worth getting into a long-term relationship when the risks are so high?
It is if it's worth it, man, because love, man, that real love is worth any obstacle you're going to have to go through. And that it has to be genuine, though. It has to be 50% on both sides, not 100%, you know, because you got to take something from the other side.
If you woke up tomorrow as a gorgeous female, would you use sex to manipulate men?
Immediately.
Definitely. Okay, so can you blame women for doing that just because they can?
No, but I get mad at it, though.
If men woke up tomorrow as gorgeous women, would they use sex to manipulate men?
Most definitely.
If so, can you blame women for doing that just because they can?
No, not at all. The vagina runs the world.
Do you think if women woke up tomorrow as men, would they lie to women in order to get sex?
No.
I'm asking men, if they woke up tomorrow as a gorgeous woman, do you think they would use sex to get what they want?
100%. In my eyes, 100%. I believe that would be yes. If they woke up as like Megan Fox, yes, they're gonna use their body.
Okay, so is it fair for men to blame women for doing that just because they can?
No. I feel like everyone is independent. Everyone has the right to their own body and the right to say whatever they want.
Okay. Now, asking a woman, if you woke up tomorrow as a man, would you lie to women in order to get sex?
Would I what?
Do you think if women woke up tomorrow as a man, do you think they would lie to women in order to get sex?
Nah. They probably try to have deep conversations and shit.
Okay. So why is it okay for women to manipulate, but it's wrong when men do the same thing?
I never understood that, and I always try to say that. Double standards is a motherfucker.
Who do you think has bigger double standards, men or women?
You already know.
Okay, so if I woke up as a man, would I lie to have sex? No.
Why not?
Because my dad has always taught me never to lie.
Okay, but do you think that a lot of men lie to women to get sex?
100%.
Okay, can you blame men for manipulating women to get what they want?
100%. It's manipulation.
Well, why is it okay for women to manipulate,
It's not okay.
but it's wrong when men do the same thing?
I never said it was okay to manipulate.
But don't women use sex to get what they want?
Not all women do.
Not all women, but not all men lie either, right?
That is correct.
Okay. What is the difference between using power and abusing power?
Using a power is you could use it. Oh wow, using and abusing. Abusing is everything's good in moderation. So you could use, it's just like water. If you drink too much water, you're gonna get sick. So like using and abusing, it's just like
Everybody gets used on both sides of the field, whether you're a woman or a man. You know, it's just men are using, you know, women for things, and women are using what they got as far as what they have to get what they want. You know what I mean? Men use what they work for to get what they want, if you get what I'm saying.
So what's the difference between using power and abusing power?
I guess when you're doing it for the wrong things. I mean, a lot of these girls out here, they know what's coming with a big wallet. You know, they know that a guy wants to take them out to eat, take them out to a place like Vegas. You know, pretty much he's not trying to do all that for free. You know what I mean?